Today is Sunday, the 14th of June in the Bahamas. And what a revelation it was in the highest house in the Bahamas, the House Assembly, where representatives was doing a debate on the 2021 budget for the Bahamas. For Abaco, it was another setback and disappointment because there was nothing in the budget to help to alleviate the stress, to rebuild, to build any new shelters, any new homes in Abaco. But one of the more damning reports was from the ex-Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Dwayne Sands. And Dr. Dwayne Sands said that his government, whom he just was a minister in this government as Minister of Health, totally responsible for the deaths and the burial thereof in Abaco, got fired. Now all of a sudden, he's speaking out when he ought to have spoken when he had the power, ironically. But Dr. Dwayne Sands said the government of the Bahamas owe the residents of Abaco that relatives died in Hurricane Dorian an apology. The government does only owe them an apology. The government owe them lots of money because of the suffering, unnecessarily suffering that the government has caused by having the loved ones there so long. Not only that, it is even more disturbing as the world. I saw a piece in Miami Herald that couldn't believe that a government of such a small nation would hide the truth from the Bahamian people. Like, what is the prime minister and what were they thinking? Even Dr. Sands, what were they thinking? What did it accomplish by taking the responsibility from the minister and giving it to the police? And you know how I go with the police. I don't trust them. But I saw there was a problem when Dr. Sands, while minister, said there's thousands of people missing. They got the names of the people missing, but the government decided to shelve it and take the names off the list and give it to the police. Why give it to the police? I don't know. That's the last persons that you wanted to give it to, because they were too busy looting and robbing the residents of Abaco and taking away from their constitutional rights by insulting them and saying that they are Nassau police. But it is a bad taste in my mouth and the residents of Abaco that the government, whom said that they are the government to trust, 3 years in, going on 10 months, we don't know what happened to that list. The government have never shown the list, talk about the list publicly, and the minister himself said there were thousands of names. The minister also ought to go further and to apologize to Kai Mills, because I went at the trailer. I was very concerned because my mother died during Hurricane or after Hurricane Dorian. The roof fell on her and she died in hospital. But if my mother would have died in Abaco, she would have been in that trailer also. When I went to the trailer, I went there every week until the government decided to put the defense force and the police to pull gun on me. And I told the Bahamas and the world that the trailer was smelling because when the electricity go off, somebody forget to put on the generator. So the bodies were thawing out, freezing up, thawing out, freezing up. So the flies and the smell was unbearable. Last time I went to the trailer, the flies were attacking me like bees. The same Dr. Sands that finally decided to come clean, he had his drunk administrator there to say that I was a liar. I was an absolute liar. We had independent people came down. I didn't need them to confirm. It is what it was. But they came down and they confirmed what I've already knew for months. This has been happening for months. Since then, Kai Mills keep the story alive. Every time I go there, all of a sudden, the police came. One time, the same drunk Dowell, who's supposed to be the assistant administrator at the clinic, he is one of the problems that the minister relied on. Any nurse or doctor that works in the Marshall Clinic and doesn't and can't say that Dowell is a drunk, they ought not be working in that clinic. From I first met him years ago, I have not seen him sober one day. When you could smell the alcohol coming out of the administrator at the clinic pause, he don't need that position. He needs to find rehab right away. But the question is, when is the government going to come clean to the residents of Abaco, the Bahamas, and the world? Where is this list? I knew that there was a problem because the government, the same Dr. Sands, said there was 50 bodies. Since he said there was 50 bodies, I counted over 20 bodies since that, but they kept the number at 20. Every time they say they found the body, I went to the site, videoing. The last time I went to the site, the police told me to leave the mud. If I don't leave, I am under arrest. I said, well, which law am I breaking? You had 5,000 illegal in the mud. Neither one of them were arrested by police. But because Kai Mills is here telling my story, as I know it, as I see it, I am going to be arrested for just shooting a video. Say, yeah, you're under arrest if you don't move. This happened for months and months in. My question to the government on coming clean, where is the list? What is the true numbers of persons missing? I knew when they said in the church in Meeting Street, when the minister then were there, along with Hiram Lewis, and they said that nobody could be identified. I knew that was a lie because I saw bodies before they started to put the bodies in the trailer. Before they had a trailer, they had a morgue. I saw Astrid Stratton body. She was the only one on top of the flatbed, and she was there just like she was sleeping. I have pictures of that, so I knew they were lying. I had pictures of other persons that they put in the morgue, recognizable, not decomposed. 2 days, a day later, after the hurricane, they were found and they were put in the morgue. The morgue was working. There were so many bodies coming in that they then needed a trailer with a cooler. But at the time when the bodies were coming in, the word were going out to the family members and said, they just identified your loved ones. Their loved ones came immediately to try to get some closure right there, to see their loved ones. the defense fall, put gun on them, saying nobody is looking in the trailer. That could have helped with a tag on their feet right there. Real time. Yes, that's my loved one. That's my brother. That's my daughter. That's my husband. That's my sister. They were notified whenever the bodies were found, because everybody knows somebody. But the government disallowed immediately eyewitness account of the dead ones on the scene. They disallowed that. So it was a sham from the beginning to the end. When are we going to know the truth from this Prime Minister and this F&M government? It is time to come clean to the Bahamian people. We, the people of Abaco, hold the Prime Minister and this F&M responsible for every dead. And we hold y'all responsible for holding the truth from the residents of Abaco. After we went through a storm, we're still going through a storm called accountability in this F&M government. You're live with Kai on WCAY, hoping that this Prime Minister have the courage to come clean and tell the Bahamian people in Abaco the truth about the numbers and the names of the missing. Kai Case, you're on WCAY.